Warning, there are words the enemy can't stand to hear. Today, I'm going to say four kinds of fasting that not only change your day, they change your authority. If you turn this video off now, you'll stay as you were. If you stay, you'll see why there are methods that make hell tremble, and why they beg you to quit them. Stay, because the third one tears down one of the most repeated lies about fasting. Before we begin, breathe. Kill the noise for a moment and listen. There are levels of spiritual life that don't open with noise, but with obedience. Not with empty promises, but with decisions that align your heart with Dios. This isn't about starving yourself to feel better about you. It's about aligning your inner world to the voice that called you by name. If you let hurry rule you, you lose today. If you pause 5 seconds and open your ear, you win today. If you value direct, no sugarcoating biblical content, subscribe now, turn on the bell, and we'll be right back with the first form. And don't leave, because in a few moments, I'll tell you the clearest sign that your fast is working, even when you feel weak. First form, identity fast. It isn't long, it isn't loud. It's dangerous to the enemy because it reminds you who you are when no one is clapping. The most common attack during a fast isn't hunger. It's the hit to your identity. The voice that whispers, if you were truly a son, you would have changed by now. If you were truly called, you wouldn't be struggling with this. The identity fast shuts that whisper down and turns up what Dios said about you. You don't come to beg for love. You come to remember you've already been loved. You don't come to negotiate your place. You come to take it. Picture that desert where every noise goes silent. The wind, the dust, the stomach asking, the thought trying to dominate. In that landscape, the enemy doesn't only offer bread, he offers a label. He offers you a view of yourself as orphaned, impure, unworthy. But here you change the dialogue. You take truth phrases and turn them into breathing. You don't repeat cold instructions. You speak from a place of adoption. I am what Dios said. I walk in what Dios promised, not by what I feel, but by what has been real since before my fear. In seconds, I'll give you a short line that cuts condemnation like a knife. Simple steps for the identity fast. Choose concrete hours, even if they're few. Turn off the noise of comparison. Open a psalm out loud and switch it to first person. Write 3 truths about who you are in Dios and read them like oxygen. Do it even if your emotion doesn't match. Emotion aligns to truth when truth takes the first chair. The phrase that cuts condemnation. I'm not fasting to be accepted. I fast because I was already accepted. Say it slower. I was already accepted. Feel how guilt loses strength and clarity rises. That's authority being born. In a few seconds, I'll show you why the next form wakes up war, but sets you firm like a rock. First, let me ask you something. Have you ever fasted and ended up feeling weaker and guiltier than when you started? It's not that you failed. It's that you fought in the wrong place. If the fast doesn't touch your identity, you just went hungry. If it touches your identity, your voice changes, your posture changes. Your prayer stops asking for permission to breathe and starts ordering what Dios already authorized. If this teaching is lighting you up, leave your comment now with the word fasting so I know you're here and we continue. Because what's coming is for those tired of the cycle, try, fall, guilt. What's coming is war. Second form, warfare fast. It's not to impress anyone. It's for those who draw a line and say enough. There are chains that aren't negotiated. They're broken. There are doors you don't push. You command. The warfare fast isn't born from anger. It's born from conviction. It doesn't shout louder than everyone. It holds a yes that doesn't move even when the wind changes. It's the kind of fast that turns tears into weapons and the word into a sword that cuts lies with precision. What does it look like? Prior decision, prayer agenda. Texts you pronounce as decrees. You don't improvise. You take a specific time and a clear target. This thing that bound me ends. You name the cycle by its name. You name freedom by its name. You cover yourself with the blood of Jesus and keep your mouth full of promise, not complaint. The enemy doesn't fear hunger. He fears when hunger aligns with a mouth that says what Dios already said. Maybe someone told you fasting is about holding out and waiting to see what happens. That's the myth. You'll watch it break in a moment with the third form. Before that, a tactic of the warfare: fast. Don't fight people. Trade accusation for intercession. Every time you want to argue, stop for 10 seconds, breathe, and release a decree. I don't surrender territory. I don't surrender my mind. I don't surrender my house. I declare order in Jesus' name. Say his name with faith. The atmosphere shifts. Here's a preview. You'll see it in a few minutes. I'm going to show you why many get tired halfway through a fast and confuse attack with failure. When you understand that dynamic, you won't drop the fast on day 2 again. Hold steady. Third form, strategic fast. Here the enemy panics because he stops seeing you reacting and starts seeing you operating with a blueprint in hand. This fast isn't necessarily long. It's specific. You don't say, I'm fasting for everything. You say, I'm seeking direction for this decision. I'm seeking the timing for this step. I'm seeking clarity for this project. It's the fast that opens emails with answers you weren't expecting, that aligns meetings you couldn't schedule, that places you in the right place on the right day. How to practice it? Before you start, ask Dios what kind of fast. How long, with which texts, and with what focus. Write it down. Don't complicate it. One notebook, a reasonable schedule, and real silence. Do 3 things: inner review, listening, small obedience. The inner review names what's competing with Dios on your agenda. Listening kills the noise, so a simple phrase can make you turn the wheel. Small obedience executes something immediately. You don't wait to feel a cloud, a message sent, an apology made, a door closed to a distraction that steals your hours. The small opens the great, and here I break a myth. Not everyone is called to a long 40-day fast, and not every deep change is born from an extreme calendar. Many have been paralyzed because someone turned the number into an idol. The strategic fast smashes that lie. It's not length that impresses Dios. Obedience moves heaven. If this set you free, write it in the comments. Obedience over length. In seconds, I'll share a silent sign that confirms your strategic fast is connected. You'll see peace in the middle of weakness. Not strong emotion, solid peace. That peace isn't anesthesia. It's direction, fourth form, abstinence fast. And I'm not only talking about food. Here you cut for a time whatever feeds your flesh, even if it isn't openly evil. Entertainment that occupies the room where presence should dwell. Conversations that dirty your ear. Music that drags your thinking down. Escapes that rob your focus. When you drop those, you don't become boring. You become sensitive. Noise goes down. Whispers are heard. Suddenly that idea you needed shows up clean. Suddenly that anger that controlled you reveals itself as a lack of silence. Sometimes the biggest enemy of your authority isn't a giant. It's a screen lit at midnight. How to do it without complicating it. Choose the 2 things that distract you most and turn them off. Set a clear disconnect hour. Replace it with short reading and brief prayer. Walk, breathe, cut sugar if you need mental clarity. Drink water as if it were a discipline of faith. And you discover that when the noise calms, instructions are waiting. The enemy hates this fast because he can't cling to you when your hands are free and your mind is clear. You'll notice something. After you begin any of these forms, the atmosphere moves. There are days you'll feel more attacked than before. Here's the key I promised minutes ago. That isn't failure. It's evidence of advancement. When Daniel sought answers, there was resistance until help arrived. Learn this rule. Intensity of attack doesn't mean absence of answer. It means the board just moved. That's why the warfare fast feeds on the word. That's why the strategic fast record signals. That's why the identity fast anchors you when you're shaken. That's why the abstinence fast cleans the channel so you can hear without interference. Leave your comment now if this is clarifying your process. Write clarity and add your country. I want to know where you're fighting this battle from. We continue. Now let's talk about what happens inside when you truly fast. Physical hunger turns down the volume of pride and turns up the volume of the spirit. Small things stop directing your day. Your discernment sharpens. You start noticing atmospheres. You enter a place and you know if there's peace or weight. It's not paranoia, it's perception. Suddenly you sleep and dream with more detail. Suddenly, a phrase repeats in your mind and guides you like a lighthouse. Don't chase experiences for their own sake. Chase alignment. If something doesn't fit the character of Dios, you discard it without drama. If something brings pressure and confusion, it isn't direction. Real direction comes with humble clarity, not spectacle. You'll also understand something that sabotages many, the temptation phase. It always comes. It grabs you at the weak point, hunger, pride, hurry. The response isn't to invent speeches, it's to answer with truth. When shortcuts are offered, remember shortcut means loss of authority. When they invite you to prove who you are, remember proven identity doesn't need the enemy's exam. When easy shine is offered, remember the cost is always your altar. Don't negotiate your altar, the fiercest war will be in the mind. Recycled thoughts will visit you. You're no good, you can't, nothing changes. Don't dialogue with that. Answer it, it's different. Don't stay silent before a thought that robs you. Open your mouth and replace it. No one heals by thinking harder. The mouth leads the mind. That's why this script is full of short lines. They're arrows, use them. I don't fast to be loved. I fast because I've already been loved. This isn't senseless hunger. It's surrender with direction. I don't yield my mind. I order it. I don't yield my house. I bless it. I don't yield my day. I consecrate it. Notice how your chest changes when you say it out loud. There will be physical distractions, headaches, broken sleep, tasks that suddenly multiply, messages that don't stop. Don't be surprised. Drink water with discipline. Rest before you crash. Care for the body as a temple, not as an enemy. The goal isn't suffering, it's alignment. If a symptom is intense, adjust with wisdom. Dios loves your obedience, not your self-destruction. Don't compare yourself to anyone. Every fast is a tailored suit. What's serious here isn't others' applause. It's the fire on the altar when no one's watching. Doors begin to open when you live like this. Help you didn't expect, protection at exact moments. A message with the precise phrase. Don't live hunting signs, but don't ignore them when they repeat. Fasting doesn't buy favors. It cleans your lenses to see the favors already on the way. And yes, there are moments you'll feel a strength that isn't yours. Peace in a tired body, courage in a dry throat. That isn't suggestion, it's help. And you're not imagining things when temptation rises 3 levels after that peace. It's normal. Stay the course. Now, how to sustain what begins to open? The easiest thing after finishing a fast is to go back to the usual and lose what you gained. Close doors. Don't go back to what dimmed your spirit. If you heard strongly the need for nighttime silence, don't turn on screens after a certain hour. If you understood that a certain conversation robs your peace, cut that channel. If you saw that a practice empties you, replace it with something that fills you. What you guard after the fast shapes your next season more than how intensely you fasted. Integrate what you heard into your decisions. If during the fast you felt a push to forgive, take the first step. If you felt direction to change a financial habit, take the class, fix your budget, eliminate the expense that sabotages you. If a name came to help, write to them. If you were called to pause to create something, put it on the calendar. Revelation not obeyed becomes a burden. Revelation obeyed becomes a door. Maybe you're asking, how do I know if my fast is going well? Simple signs. Your prayer stops being obligation and starts being refuge. Your discernment rises without getting weird. Peace appears in the middle of physical weakness. Small doors open where you used to crash. And yes, some attacks intensify, but they no longer run you. Those are evidences of progress. I'm going to give you a short guide for each of the 4 forms. With concrete actions you can start today. Take it as a field map. For the identity fast, choose a doable window even if it's just 12 hours. Before you start, write on a page 3 truths about who you are in Dios and read them standing. Open a psalm and read it out loud, switching pronouns to first person. Close with this line 3 times. I'm not seeking approval, I walk from approval. If guilt returns, repeat it slower. For the warfare fast, define a clear goal and a short, clear period. Make a list of 5 declarations with texts and repeat them 3 times a day. Replace every complaint with a declaration. When you feel anger toward someone, turn that minute into intercession for that person. If you must confront, do it with calm and truth, not an emotional dump. War isn't shouting. War is holding. For the strategic fast, write the main question you need to answer. Ask Dios how to fast, duration-focused texts. Record every confirmation that shows up, even the small ones. Practice small obedience within 24 hours. A call, an email, a closure, a yes or a no. Re-review in 48 hours to adjust. For the abstinence fast, pick 2 distractions and shut them off. Trade the recovered time for brief reading and short prayer. Go for a 10-minute silent walk. Drink water before bed. Lower sugar for a time for mental clarity. Watch how your inner ear clears. If anxiety invades you for not looking at a screen, you just found a hidden idol. Let it go. Preview. In a moment, I'm going to give you a final focus prayer to ignite your process this very week. First, a critical detail. The enemy can't handle a person who closes doors. Not every fall comes from intense temptation. Many come from half-open doors. Your task after this video is to identify 3 doors: the mind, what you consume; the mouth, what you say when you're tired; and time, who you hand it to without a filter. Close those 3 and you'll watch your strength rise. If you feel this video is arming you, leave your comment now with the words, "I arm up." I want to read you. I want to pray for you with your name and country, and share it with your group. Sometimes the person who needs it most isn't the one who comments. It's the one who stays silent. Some ask, "What if I fail in the middle of the fast?" You get up. Don't baptize yourself in guilt. Adjust and continue. The goal isn't a perfect score. It's an aligned heart. The altar that gets repaired is worth more than the shame that accuses you. If you broke today, come back tomorrow with clarity, not with lashes. The enemy uses perfectionism as a chain. Persevering obedience is a key that doesn't rust. Imagine a scene. You get up tomorrow and decide to take the first hour with no screen. You drink water, you breathe, you open your notebook and write 1 line. Today, I choose identity. Today, I choose obedience over length. Today, I choose peace over anxiety. Then at lunch, you switch your plate to something simple and turn that time into short reading and concrete prayer. In the afternoon, when the message arrives that provokes you, you don't answer from impulse. You answer from the objective. At night, you shut the screen off at the hour you promised. That chain of decisions makes hell tremble more than 1,000 speeches, because that's where it's clear who governs your day. Now yes, the promised prayer to ignite your process. Repeat it in your heart as you listen. Dios, here I am. I don't come to impress. I come to align. Today, I open my ear and close my excuses. I place my body, my schedule, and my mind on your altar. I want clarity, not performance. I want obedience, not show. I declare that my identity is secure in you. I reject guilt that doesn't come from you. I order my mind under your peace. I take the sword of your word and say what you say. I close doors that were stealing my focus. I make room for your voice, and I walk in the authority you already gave me. Amen. One last key I asked you to hold out for until now. There's a reason certain fasts are so hated by the enemy. They reorder inheritances. What you do today doesn't only touch you. It touches those who come after you. There are chains that break in your life and don't touch your children again. There are habits that die in your hands and don't rise again in your house. You're not just fighting one more day. You're changing a spiritual last name. That's why hell trembles. That's why they beg you to quit. That's why today you don't quit. If you want us to pray for your fasting process this week, leave your comment now with the phrase fasting week and add your request on 1 line. Read and reply to someone else. Let's build a wall of voice and support right here. This channel isn't a spectator room. It's a barracks. And if you received value, share this video with 3 people and in your group. That gesture multiplies everything. If you committed to live at least one of these 4 forms, comment despiertos and write which one. Don't leave it for later. Leave your mark in the comments right now and come back in 7 days to tell the change. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and save this video. You're going to return to it. Don't wait to feel ready. Fasting isn't a prize for the perfect. It's a tool for the brave. Do it today with what you have. iOS has your back when you choose his voice over your comfort. I'll see you in the next video with the signs that confirm your fast is opening invisible paths. And remember, 4 forms the enemy fears, 1 decision that makes him flee yours.